The other side of the world, on the harsh west coast of New Zealand's South Island, a team of 5 scientists are on a mission to hunt for gold. To extract any gold from this wild, primeval terrain, they'll have to solve a series of science challenges. Their base camp is an old sawmill, where they've got simple tools and basic bits. Ingenuity they'll have to supply themselves. Our scientists are Mike Bullivant, our creative chemist. He's also a stand-up comedian and keen outdoorsman. Kathy Sykes, an irrepressible physicist and extreme sports fanatic. Mike Leahy's a biologist with attitude. He's also a car mechanic and martial arts expert. Ellen Macaulay's an intrepid botanist from Missouri whose second home is the Amazon jungle. Jonathan Hare's a physicist with a science brain and an artist's eye, a true Renaissance man. And me, Kate Humble, the odd job girl. Together we are Rough Science. We've travelled 12,000 miles to New Zealand's South Island. Our base is on the gold-rich west coast. In this remote wilderness, the team face their ultimate challenge. Before the series ends, they have to find enough gold to make a pure gold souvenir. Last time, they processed river gravel with a homemade extraction machine. That brought their gold total to just 1.7 grams, but they need more.
Oh, right then, on this cold and frosty morning, what are you going to be doing for the next 3 days? Well, so far, the search for gold has been concentrated in the rivers. Mike and Mike, you're going to be going on an expedition to the mountains to find the source of that gold. So we want gold rock, the rock that actually holds the gold, okay? Now, you're going to be overnighting on the mountain with him. Yep.
Together.
So you're going to need, Ellen, a waterproof tent. So if you can help them. Now, the only thing is that you're going to need to do it by noon tomorrow because the helicopter is coming at noon tomorrow to take you up to the mountains, Mike's. Okay? So a bit of a quick one. Now, the other thing that all prospectors had to worry about and still have to worry about is the earthquake activity in these parts. As we know, the fault line runs straight through here. So, Kathy and Jonathan, what we'd like you to do is to make a seismograph, the machine that measures earthquake activity, just to see if we can find out how much the Earth is moving for us, okay?
Big earthquakes, yeah?
Any earthquakes would be nice, but yeah, perhaps a big one. You have, as usual, 3 days. Now you've got all the tools and bits and bobs in the sawmill, anything useful that you find around all New Zealand's natural resources, and your special bits and pieces for this week are in here. Have a rummage.
Wow.
So, that'll be 1 waterproof tent and a seismograph, please, guys.
Look at that.
Alarm clock.
Hey!
That's our alarm clock.
I think that's good for anything else.
Where's
That's for
the sponge
decorating
for
the
it?
interior of your tent.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a nice floral pattern on the inside.
Beeswax.
That's for me.
That's for you.
No, it's for you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Ooh,
Beeswax.
for you guys.
Lanolin. Sheep around here are covered in this stuff.
Hey, Mikey, this will keep us warm in the tent.
Aha.
Earplugs! Earplugs! Yeah! Is that because you're sleeping in a tent together?
I'm gonna need more than
Would we need
earplugs.
earplugs?
Oh, it's time for bed.
With time ticking away, the priority is to make the tent. Ellen's off on a hunt for New Zealand's waterproof flax plant.
Where's the best place to look for flax?
Near the water.
Okay, this is flax, right? And the Maori used it for almost everything. You can even drink the nectar from the flowers.
Oh, fantastic.
But it's great for making waterproof cloaks like rain jackets.
Yeah.
And what we're going to use it for is a ground cover.
Okay.
So it'll be waterproof, get them off the ground. We're going to need a lot.
So, Ellen's going to make a flax ground sheet, which leaves the boys to make the tent out of this flimsy bit of cotton.
We're gonna have to sew. I can't bloody sew.
The Mikes think that the beeswax and lanolin from the kit might be good for waterproofing, but there's not nearly enough to cover the whole sheet. The plan is to build a simple tent frame and drape the cotton over it.
What we'll do is have 3 panels. That'll be waterproof with the lanolin. The next one will be waterproof with the beeswax. And then the third one with another
And to waterproof panel 3, amazingly, they plan to use coal, one of New Zealand's most abundant resources.
Mike, how fine do you want this stuff? A powder. I already ache.
He's not a well man.
The powdered coal goes into a teapot, but it will have to brew for a while before we find out exactly what Mike has in mind. Ellen's come up trumps with the flax. Now she's got to turn these leaves into beds for the boys. Kathy and Jonathan are working on their seismograph, a contraption for measuring earthquakes.
Nice pointy point.
So is this the beginnings of your seismograph?
It is.
Certainly is.
How does a seismograph actually work?
What you want to do is kind of be stretching out a line of paper and end up actually with a graph of how the Earth has moved.
Yeah, so basically the pen is charting the movement of
And if
the
you
Earth.
keep still and I'll move
Yeah.
this.
So one of these presumably has to be on the Earth.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
So the bit of paper stays fixed to the Earth.
Right, so it moves with the Earth when the Earth moves.
That's it.
Okay.
And then we need the pen, ideally just kind of hung freely in space.
So that it doesn't move.
So it doesn't
effectively.
move at all. But pressing onto this, so as this jiggles up and down, you get that jiggly pattern.
So you get a straight line if there was no activity.
Okay, so the paper basically needs to be fixed to the Earth so that it picks up those movements, and the pen needs to not move at all.
Yeah, if we could do that.
That's-
We just have to get as close to that as we can.
That does sound...
Quite tricky then.
For a while now, a rather unpleasant liquid has been collecting in the jars connected to Mike B's pot full of coal. What is he making?
One of the things that Mike and I are going to use to waterproof our tent is coal tar, which you can get very easily from heating coal up. Coal is a very complex molecular structure, and by heating it you can break that molecular structure up and you release all kinds of chemicals. You know, there's probably 10,000 different chemicals to be got from coal tar. So when we heat the coal inside the teapot, the vapours and all the gases will come off and they'll come out here and they'll condense. The gases will turn back into liquid and we collect them in these containers. Eventually, when you heat the coal up really to a high temperature, you get this stuff, and that contains the creosote, which you can use to waterproof fences, and that's what we'll use to treat our tent with.
Crafts were never my strong point.
Hey, what's great about this flax is that it seems incredibly strong. It's strong, yet malleable.
So how's this going to work? Is this going to be like a kind of ground mat type thing?
It's going to get them off the ground. It's going to provide some insulation.
And will it be pretty much waterproof as well if the ground's wet?
Yeah, these leaves don't soak up water. They've got a waxy coating on them. Here, let me do that when you try it out.
Yep. Bring on the duvets. Oh, that works.
That's very good, isn't it?
Chuck us a pillow.
Kathy and Jonathan are working on how to move the seismograph paper under the pen.
So we need to find some way of constantly charting the signal, don't we?
So getting the bit of paper to move continuously.
We might be able to use the clocks that we're taking apart. And I guess we could glue a piece of paper onto one of the hands without the glass being
So
there.
it goes round.
Yep. And the
Right
pen
through,
from our
yeah.
seismograph will be touching it. And if there's no activity, it'll be like a curving
get a
line.
circle.
And then if there's activity, it will show the seismic waves. Yeah.
So they've worked out how to drive the paper, but they still haven't figured out how to suspend the pen above the paper.
And we get a curving line.
Ellen's trying to get at the thin fibres in the flax leaves to make tent string.
May work, may not.
But it's a long and sticky process.
It's choking.
Yeah.
With just 24 hours before the Mikes go camping to find gold, they've no tent and precious little coal tar.
There's our waterproofer, Mikey, look. You see it?
It smells and looks absolutely disgusting. That is foul.
That's going to keep you dry.
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time we'll realise we've got skin cancer
Yes.
to go with the lung cancer that we've got today.
Ellen's keeping out of the way, well upwind of the boys.
Mike B asked for some rope for the tent, and so the flax plant has some really good strong fibers. It's been used for rope for centuries. So I've gotten the fibers out and now I'm twisting it. And the key to making rope is that you twist the two sides in opposite directions. So when you twist them over each other, they hold. And if they begin to untwist, all they're going to do is untwist into each other and they become stronger. Like that.
If Kathy and Jonathan do manage to come up with a working seismograph, somehow we've got to come up with an earthquake to test it.
The locals tell me that there are about between 100 and 150 earth tremors that we can feel every year in New Zealand. However, we can't predict whether there is going to be one on day 3. So what we've done instead is we've arranged for someone to create a huge explosion.
Oh, fantastic.
So hopefully we'll have a big bang to test to see that it is going to work.
Yeah, we must be able to detect that, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK, I'll come back later. Yell if you need me to do anything.
Tomorrow night, the Mikes will be sleeping in the hills, but tonight they're running out of light.
It's all a bit dodgy. We need at least as much again.
This is the last.
They're also running out of coal tar.
We're running out, Mike.
I think we're going to get very, very wet if it rains. One way or the other, we're going to die horribly, I can see it.
The second tent panel is soaking in hot beeswax from the kit.
Very, very, very patchy. Ow, and very wet. This isn't a total success, Mike. Careful, it's really, really nasty.
A Turin shroud.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Have we got any more beeswax?
Nope, that's it. This is turning into a bit of a mare, isn't it? Loads of stuff. I'm taking my pill.
After a long, hard day, the team make final preparations for tomorrow.
Look at Whistler's mother in the corner there. Are you all right, dear?
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Here's to your meal tomorrow night.
Yes,
have a nice one.
tomorrow night.
Think to absent friend.
We're going to have a really nice night tomorrow night, aren't we?
Thank you very much.
We'll have extra food. Yeah, we'll be nice and toasty and warm.
No, we are going to be as cosy as 10 bears. We are. It's really inhospitable up there. I mean, the only saving grace is that there are no. It's benign in terms of wildlife. You know, there are no nasty things that bite you or snakes.
So you are the most dangerous.
We are the wildlife. Yeah.
It's cold and sunny at the moment, but rain blows in quickly on New Zealand's west coast. The coal tar and beeswax tent panels are done, so there's one cotton sheet left to waterproof.
This yellow waxy solid is the lanolin that we were given in the suitcase on day 1, and Mike and I are going to use this to waterproof one of the sections of the tent. It'll melt, so I'll stick it on the fire. Difficult to believe that this is just natural grease from sheep. So if it's good enough for waterproofing them, it's going to be good enough for waterproofing Mike and I. Actually, there's an idea. If we'll get a couple of sheep, drape them over the tent. Should work.
This has come on leaps and bounds since yesterday, hasn't it? I mean, it actually looks like a seismograph. There are even wiggly lines on a piece of paper. It's amazing.
So the last thing I heard was that you had to somehow hang a pen in space.
OK, well, we couldn't quite do that, but what we have a heavy weight here in the middle, which the pen's connected to. The rest of the apparatus is all fixed firmly to the ground. So when there's an earthquake, that moves. But because of the big weight here, the pen will stay pretty much fixed.
So it is effectively like suspending it in space, because it won't move at the same pace as the other equipment that's attached to the Earth.
Yeah.
We've got it as close to being as suspended in space as possible by making these pivots just really, really loose, reducing the frictions.
Oh, how brilliant. Well, can we just try it just for me? Just try and have a little jump and see if it works.
I think we should.
OK, you count.
1, 2, 3.
There's a wiggle!
So when we jump, it's the paper attached to the frame that moves, but the pen just touching the frame at that sharpened point stays relatively still. And that's how you measure an earthquake. We hope.
Yeah! So cool!
I was thinking perhaps we should just waterproof ourselves rather than the tent.
Oh, it's a scene of furious activity. Which one's this?
This is the lanolin.
Right.
We've melted it down, dissolved it in some solvent, some turps. We're just applying it, and then we'll hang. When we've painted it, we'll hang it out in the sun. And these turps
Do you think
will
it's going to
evaporate
dry quick enough? Because you've
Yeah.
got 2 hours before you go.
That's all right.
And it was really frosty this morning. Do you think you're going to be warm
You're a
enough
real
up there?
agent of doom and gloom, aren't you?
No, I'm just realistic.
It's almost midday and the mics are about to be whisked away.
See that bundle of old sheets? Looks like they're taking their dirty washing away. That's the tent.
Tomorrow, the Mikes must try and find gold rock in these mountains, and they're spending the night so they can get going at first light. The seismograph's finished, and Kathy and Jonathan still have time for a last test before tomorrow's earth-shaking blast at a local quarry. In the dense forest of Mount Rangitoto, the Mikes are about to be dropped off in a tiny clearing near an old gold mining area. Like generations of prospectors before them, they'll have to rough it for the night.
I would love to be camping tonight. I'm not sure I'd want to be camping with this equipment. They're going to have a great time together. We would not have a great time together.
I don't know why we've been chosen. We're the most...
We're the hard men.
No, we're the most dispensable, I think.
Most dispensable, yeah, yeah.
Down in the valley, the seismograph duo have found their test site.
Why are we doing it on a bridge? Why is that a good idea?
Well, if there's no cars, it should just be a perfect circle it makes in an hour.
Yeah.
And if there are cars, it will give little blips every time a car goes across.
Okay.
So if you drive across,
Right.
we should see a blip.
Okay, well, shall I leave you to set this then, and I'll go and get the car?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, we get Kate to go.
Yeah.
Okay, she's going. Yes!
Got that, all right. Maybe she'll come back again.
Yeah, she is.
Cheers.
Excellent. Yes! Hey, that is result. I really wasn't convinced we'd get anything on here.
You know, it isn't a bad size, is it? It's not going to be that cramped. OK, now this is going to be funny. So in like this, grab the side, and bring... Oh, I mean, this is going to be... Sorry, damn me.
10 bears. I think we've forgotten something. What is it?
We've got a nice view of the stars.
The team's ultimate challenge is to find enough gold to make a pure gold souvenir. Ellen's burning bark from a punga tree. Previously, the team used this bark to try and trap tiny particles of gold from the river. She's going to pan the ashes and recover the gold, if there is any. The tent's almost ready for the waterproof cover.
What a man. There we go. So this will hold our fly sheet.
But there may be a fatal flaw in the design.
You realise we've got the creosote one nearest the fire.
Well,
This is flammable. And we've got a fire exit at the end, though.
I was going to say, at least we can escape, because my head's that end anyway, isn't it?
No, my head's that end. And we decided
No, I
that.
thought we worked out my head's that end.
At the wobbly bridge, things are looking a little shaky.
If that happens at the quarry, we'll be stuffed.
That's worrying. It definitely needs some fine-tuning. The vibrations from tomorrow's blast will be tiny compared to the wobble on this bridge. But there is a glimmer of hope. Gold from the Punga ashes. Up on the mountain, Michael is recalling fond memories from his youth.
My ambition used to be a tramp, Mikey. Honestly, you ask my mum. My mum and dad were at their wits' end. I was about 16, so... Honestly, I wanted to be a tramp. Bloody hated people.
You coming in?
Yeah, I'd better get in.
Come on, honey.
How are we going to fit in here, man? Oh!
You fat...
Hide our feet.
That was just feet sticking out.
End of day 2. What's the forecast for the Mikes?
Really cold night, doesn't it?
It is. And they're going to fall asleep about 10 and wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning really cold. What do you think of the chances?
Oh, they're absolutely horrible.
No, I think it'd be worse if it rains, because they're going to get really wet and they'd be really miserable. Then they've got to go looking for gold.
Yeah, they've got to look for gold still, haven't they?
Yeah.
No, I'd much rather be here. You know, oh, this is wonderful. We got the Milky Way. We got a fire to keep us warm. We got a flammable tent. It's wonderful.
I've got my doubts about the tent.
If I were going up a mountain, I would make... I'm
Kathy,
sure I was going
if
to
you
stay
and I were
dry.
going up a mountain, day 1, we would have had a tent made. But we didn't go.
No.
Night, Mike.
Good night, sweetheart.
It's the morning after the night before. I'm dropping in to see if the Mikes have found gold rock yet. But first, how was that tent?
You're alive! Isn't this an amazing spot?
It's awesome, isn't it? It's the best campsite I've ever
Absolutely.
slept in.
Yeah, but
Wilderness.
saying campsite, where is the tent, for heaven's sake?
It's
Over there.
Well, I have to say, guys, I'm impressed.
It's cool,
quite
isn't it?
comfortable, isn't it, in here?
It's really comfortable, yeah.
Ellen's mats are brilliant.
She made them so carefully, no draft gets through, and we folded them up the edges.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't rain last night,
Thank
so
goodness.
I'm going to have to be brave and test how waterproof this waterproof tent is supposed to be.
You sure you want to go through with this?
No, but this is science.
This is the front creosote panel.
Okay. It's not waterproof.
I don't believe it. That was
It's like a shower in here.
Right, right, this one's the lanolin then, Kate. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
It looks good from out here.
Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, nothing coming through.
Yeah, it's all
right.
dripping off well.
Really good.
The last one. Yeah, this is beeswax. All right.
Oh, I don't think your seams are up to much.
Yeah.
Bit drippy. I'd still say lanolin was your best one.
Better than the beeswax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surprising.
Thank you, dear.
Do you want to go somewhere and dry off?
But no, that would be my top tip.
Yeah.
If you were ever going to do this again, either of you, use lanolin. Don't worry about all that coal tar nonsense. It doesn't work. Should we have a cup of tea and then we've got to go and find gold. That's what you're here for.
Come on then.
The seismograph team arrive at the quarry for the big test. The explosives are set up to make our do-it-yourself earthquake.
It's exciting, Jonathan.
Very exciting.
The Mikes have spent the morning scouting the area and have found an old gold mine. But is there any gold left in it?
Look at this. That's something out of the Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful.
To increase our chances of finding gold rock, Michael's going to search upriver, leaving us to brave the mine.
It's fantastic. Look at all this old gear. I'm not sure how much gold is going to be actually left in here. Oh, now, Mike, look at that.
What is it?
Kind of cricket. Quite a handsome fella, isn't he?
Wouldn't want that in my bed.
What do you mean you just shared a night with Mike Leahy? There it goes.
No luck yet for Michael. Like us, he's looking for any rock that's got the telltale signs of gold.
See this?
Yeah.
That quartz vein, that ribbon of white that chases all the way back. And that's what the miners would be looking for. Because in there's gold. And this is a huge lump of granite here, which has been forced up, and tremendous force. And as it's forced up and it cools down, it brings up all of the metals, the copper, silver, gold, that kind of thing, and they all leach out into this.
Looks like it's collapsed around here as well, doesn't it?
Yes, doesn't look too safe.
I suppose that's a good point.
Yeah, let's go look somewhere else.
All right, see how lightly he's getting on.
Michael's found a likely-looking bit of rock. It's got a promising vein of minerals, but does it have gold inside?
Hey, Mike.
How's it going?
Well, we haven't exactly got the right tools, because this isn't a Quakers.
Is this a Mike Leahy winch by any chance?
It's only a minor winch, because I'm actually very pleased. Look at this.
Wow!
Oh, but that's really much better than the stuff we saw in the gold mine.
Yeah.
And there'll be a bit of gold in there, not a lot.
Really?
Yeah, let's take this back.
There's loads more where this came from, and I've got a pile down there.
Getting any gold out of the rock will be a future challenge, but now we've got an earthquake to attend. After some final adjustments, the seismograph's set.
OK, I think it seems to be working. Ready to go?
Yeah.
And the finishing touch, a cover, courtesy of Ellen.
Ellen, you're a magician.
Well, just to catch you up with what happened up there, these two made possibly the worst waterproof tent ever known to man, woman or beast. But they did get gold rock.
Great.
So we're hoping that there is gold in this rock, which we'll discover at a later date, but that was very good. Now, to let you guys know what's been happening down here, Ellen panned out the pungerwood and we got just over a gram, bringing your total up to nearly 3 grams so far.
Yes!
So doing well,
Yes!
doing well. Now, Kathy and Jonathan, is the clock stopped or is it still
think it's
working?
going.
It's set up, it's all ready to go.
Are you ready for the big test?
Yeah.
Okay, hats on. Good luck.
Earplugs in.
Okay, ready, guys?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Are we safe to go down there, Grant? Okay, let's go find it. Our feet are going to set it off.
Nothing.
Can you take it off? Can we have a look at it? I don't believe it.
We've got a lovely round light.
And then, Kate, when you arrived, that mark there is from the helicopter. So we detected you arriving.
But not a big bang.
Not the bang.
Have you any idea why not?
My only guess is that although it's a massive bang, it doesn't actually make the ground move that much. It's actually got to make the ground move at least a millimetre that way for us to detect it. And that's quite a long call.
So it was the explosives' fault.
Yeah.
Well done, all of you, for another great week. It was a shame about the seismograph, but we saw it work. It worked on the bridge. We know it does it. Maybe we should just all jump up and down.
Okay, that's
ready. 3, 2, 1. See you next time on Rough Science.
Next time, we take a break from the gold quest as we send an expedition to investigate a mighty mountain of ice. While Mike B turns up the heat in his chemistry kitchen. For a free Rough Science booklet and details of Open University programmes, call 0870 900 9581 or log on to www.open2.net.